Well, hello, Dr. Keith Johnson here, America's #1 confidence coach. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a great message for you. As you see, we're sitting in the car. We're just getting ready to go into a service. Behind me is Bishop David Cooper, and we're getting ready to go into a leadership conference. Both of us today, we are international speakers. We train leaders literally around the world. And a lot of times on Facebook and on Instagram, things like that, you guys see me and see us speaking in really large places, and we never want to show you the small places we go to. Well, I'm always led by the Holy Spirit to go places that I feel that I can make an impact. And I know Bishop is the same way too. He spent his life training leaders around the world. One day he can be in a very large, mega-sized church. The next day you're in a church that has 50 to 100 people in it, maybe. So we are always, every pastor, every leader needs help. And so I'm so glad to be able to come through this live chat with you today to help you and talk about the 3 major opportunities that every church has every single year to grow. Now, before we go into those 3 opportunities, Bishop and I want to just let you know that if you're a pastor, you can pick up my LQ Solution book, Influence, Impact, and Increase, and it's free. I bless pastors with that. All you got to do is go to lqsolution.com. That's lqsolution.com. And it's my gift to you. We'll ship it out to you. You just pay the shipping. It's my gift. You just cover the shipping and handling. And we bless pastors with that. It's my story, how I was out in the middle of nowhere and how I built a large church in a town of only 107 people. I believe you could build a great church anywhere. It doesn't matter where it's at. Right. Geography does not stop you, Pastor. I want you to get that. Geography does not stop you. It's your own mind stopping you. So here we are. We're with Bishop, and we were talking yesterday. We had some good fish yesterday, didn't we, Bishop?
Yes, we did.
Oh man, yeah, we had the best catfish. I loved it. And but you, Pastor, what's the name of your church?
New Hope Church in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah. And he's got a great work there, and we're just connecting up and spending time with each other. And it's a great brother, man. Preached a great message last night, by the way.
Bless you, sir.
On what was that called? The power
of corrective choice.
Of corrective choice. That was so huge.
Yes.
Such a good message. I'm such a blessed guy being able to hang out with great guys all over the world like this. So we were talking yesterday while we were eating some catfish.
Yes.
I hope my wife doesn't see this. I'm not supposed to be eating
that. You can act like it's baked.
Yeah.
But it was really fried, but it happened.
Yeah.
We won't tell it.
No, don't tell her that. Yeah. That baked catfish, help me, Lord. Forgive me, Jesus. But we have fun. We're having a good time. But we were talking yesterday, and I teach a lot of my pastors and leaders that I coach this. But I want Bishop to share. There's 3 opportunities you have in a year that you have to take advantage of. You have to leverage the culture that you're living in and leverage these 3 major days. To share what you were sharing with us to the other pastors. I send this out to a lot of pastors on Monday morning. Share the 3 opportunities they have.
Well, Dr. Johnson, of course, I'm glad to be here with you, and wonderful connection with America's #1 confidence coach. I'm just honored to share with the pastors that Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter, sometimes as pastors we call them CME, like Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, but they are major days in the life of the Christian calendar and in our culture. Now, one of the things you have to understand is that people will come to church during these days and in the seasons, the weekends of these days, more than any other time in the time of the year. Right. Now, like football, they have the Super Bowl, and people who are not Super Bowl football fans, for the Super Bowl, they'll go to Super Bowl parties.
Right.
They'll pick a team.
Even if they don't like them, right?
Even if they don't like them.
Right.
Even if they don't like football, they'll go somewhere and watch the Super Bowl with a group of people. Many times they'll watch it every year, and eventually they'll start finding a team they like, eventually becoming a faithful fan of that team. Same thing with the local church. That when you have Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter, remember that even unbelievers believe those are days that they need to seek to be with family, to be around people who are believers, and to celebrate those days. Even Burlington Coke Factory is doing a national campaign around buying clothes for Easter. Now, understand this. It's not owned by Christians, but they are doing commercials. And the commercials for the last 2 weeks is about, we want to sell you your suits, your dresses. If you get dressed up for Easter and go to church, come to Burlington. And so they understand that concept.
They're leveraging the season.
That's right. And what you notice for those who pastor mega churches, sometimes they take as much as 10% to 5% of their yearly budget just to finance what they do on Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter. So in major cities, some of the major churches are renting football fields, convention centers, spaces bigger than what they are normally hold service in.
Sending out massive amount of postcards.
Yes, postcards,
phone calls, mails.
All of that.
They're working it.
They're working it. And so what I tell pastors, regardless of the size of your church, a small play, a concert, promoting your series or special message you're going to preach that day, what you have planned for the children that day, because you do want to engage the children, because the children bring the families on those days, is essential. And what we found out is that when you do Easter well, it increases your attendance for the spring and the summer. So you do Easter and Mother's Day, they kind of like back to back with each other. It really boosts you through the spring. And we all know that generally during the summer, people are traveling, but you would have so many visitors from the Easter and the Mother's Day that it kind of balance off your attendance. And so it's important to understand that this is important to the growth and the life of your church. Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter. Now you can do something. It's not too late. Big days are big opportunities. And I want you to know that Rich Birch, who wrote the Church Growth Flywheel, will tell you that if you fail to do anything on these big days, you have really failed to have a real evangelistic thrust coming out of your church. Most of us think our big days are internal days, things that only affect the ministry internally. But externally,
like anniversaries
and celebrations of the membership and all that. But we have to think that in the mind of God is what we do to promote and fulfill the Great Commission. And that's big days: Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter. Now, it's not too late to do something. You can get your members to commit to call 5 of their friends. What we've learned from research, that 82% of unchurched people will go to church if they are invited by a friend. I want you to hear that again. 82% of unchurched people have said that they will go to church if they're invited by a friend. But the other sad statistic is that of church-going people, only 2% of them during the course of a whole year ever invite a friend.
Yeah, that's right.
And so now this is the perfect time, because right now all of them are understanding, well, I'm not going to go to church another time. I'm going to go to Easter, I'm going to go Mother's Day, or I'm going to go Christmas. And so this is the perfect time at Easter. Have your members pick up and say, hey, 5-7 people you're going to call this week, inviting them to our Easter service. However you want to do it, through email, through text, through social media.
Social media is big.
Yeah, so just do it. Tweet, text, Facebook.
And by the way, on Facebook,
yes.
I mean, you can literally, I mean, here we are, we're out in a kind of rural area, small rural area. Outside of Denver. And this guy right here through Facebook, targeting, you can go in there and he can target this like a 2 or 3 mile area, right around where he's at.
Right.
So everybody around here, who they're all on Facebook, will see an ad about this church on Sunday morning.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, so you're not too late. You could start marketing your Easter service today
Today.
and start growing it.
Yeah, and just remember
It's
that.
good stuff.
Just remember that you need to make sure that the workers in your ministry, your greeters, your
Oh
ushers,
man.
that they know how to receive people. Because one thing to get people to come to your church
Right.
is another thing for them to feel like they're welcome guests, not visitors, but guests. And so you treat them like guests, like they're people of honor. Now, they already understand that Easter service is going to be a little bit different than the rest of the service, just like watching the Super Bowl is different than the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So don't resist bringing out the bells and the whistles, if you like balloons or streamers, whatever, to beautify the place, to put a little extra into what you do as it relates to hospitality and greeting. They understand that the day is different. Just like somebody's birthday, you go to somebody's house for their birthday, well, the house is going to look a little bit different. They're not going to expect to come next week and the house looks the same way it does on your birthday. But they understand that because you celebrated your birthday so well, that your house is a welcome place. And so that's the same thing in relationship to the local church. So don't, if you're not usually one of those that do a lot of major things as it relates to hospitality and greeting, please talk to your leadership and your membership this Sunday.
All hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
Yeah,
and then if you have an intercessory prayer team that y'all need to be praying for our guests, praying for our effective outreach, praying for our pastor as he shared the word, that it would be a word that will reach and minister to them at their point of need. And I guarantee that many times there's a great influx on that day, but what you'll see in the upcoming Sundays, that people will start to steadily stream back to your church. And those who like really don't go to church at all and only came for Easter, they may not come back for 2 or 3 months. But when they are in a need, when they're in a place where there's a hunger for wisdom, a hunger for God, a hunger for intimacy, a hunger for love, they're not going to pick another church. They're going to come right back to that church that reached out to them and ministered to them so effectively on Easter. Remember, the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. Are you going to be a laborer?
Oh, that's good. Thank you so much, Bishop, for
Thank you,
joining
sir.
us. And hey, this is what I want you to do. If you know a pastor who needs this, will you share this? Because pastors need to hear some strategies. That's what most pastors lack. They don't lack strategy. And what Bishop just laid out is real strategy to help you. You got to be thinking in these ways. I mean, look at Christmas time. Everybody, not just Burlington Coat Factory, every secular company leverages the culture, the mindset of the people to market to them, to increase their sales. And the church, we have to think the same way. We've got to take advantage. We've got to seize these ideal moments where we could impact people. There's a lot of people, a lot of unchurched people out there that believe in God, that have a spiritual sensitivity in their hearts. And they're just looking. And your job is to make that divine connection with those people. That's what we call marketing.
Yes.
Your greatest challenge, Pastor, your greatest challenge. If you don't know what your problem is, you won't know what the solution. Your number one problem is obscurity.
Yes.
Obscurity. People don't know you're there.
Yes.
So what's your number one solution? Is exposure. Exposure. And you got to take advantage of these seasons to expose your ministry to people who are maybe thinking about going to a church. Great job, Bishop.
Thank
I
you, sir.
appreciate it. So please share, please like. Definitely, hey, do a hashtag to some pastors that you know that need to hear this. And we look forward to you. But before we go, hey, I just want to tell you, you're a special person. And we believe in you. And believe that increase is on your horizon. Don't forget my free book, lqsolution.com. If you're a pastor, go on over there, head over there. My gift to you, you just pay the shipping and handling. But I'll teach you in that book the strategies that I learned to grow my church larger than the community in which it dwelt. And let me tell you, it was in a tough area. Tough. So I don't care where you are. You could be right next door to hell.
Yes.
and you can grow a great church. You believe that,
Oh
Bishop?
yes, oh yes.
Yeah, we believe it.
Yes,
So don't believe all the lies. Don't believe all the lies you tell yourself about why your church can't grow. They're all lies. God bless you.
God bless you.